You won't believe what just went down. Derrick Jaxn, the self-proclaimed relationship guru who once had every woman swooning over his black love sermons, has officially flipped the script. And this time, I'm the one paying the price. When I tell you this man just made me regret everything, I mean everything. I'm talking about years of trust, loyalty, and even defending him when the whole world turned its back. And now, it feels like I've been living in one big lie. It started with a single phone call, his name flashing on my screen after months of silence. My heart dropped. I didn't know if I should answer or throw the phone across the room. But something in me, maybe curiosity, maybe foolishness, made me pick up. That's when everything spiraled. What came next wasn't an apology, wasn't closure. It was a confession that turned my world upside down. And before you think this is just another messy love story, no. This is betrayal, manipulation, and revelation all rolled into one. Fans are shocked, the internet is losing its mind, and the people closest to me, they don't even know the half of it. Because what Derrick said that night didn't just reopen old wounds, it shattered everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and myself. When I picked up that call, I swear my hands were trembling. The kind of trembling that comes from the mix of anger, curiosity, and pain that's been buried too long. I heard his voice, low and calm like nothing had happened, like he hadn't disappeared from my life after breaking every promise he ever made. "Hey," he said, almost whispering. "Can we talk?" For a few seconds, I couldn't even breathe. My chest tightened, my throat felt dry, and the memories started flashing. All those late-night talks about honesty, all those videos he made preaching about love and respect. All those times I defended him when everyone called him fake. I wanted to hang up. I wanted to scream. But instead I said, "What could you possibly have to say to me now?" He sighed. That same heavy sigh he used when he was about to manipulate a conversation, twist words until I questioned my own reality. "It's not what you think," he said. "I need to explain everything. Please just meet me. One last time." My heart knew better, but my mind betrayed me. I agreed. The next day, I found myself sitting in a small cafe downtown, the same one we used to go to before everything went downhill. It was strange being there again. The smell of coffee, the soft music, the dim lights. Everything felt the same, yet nothing did. I sat by the window, staring at the street, rehearsing what I'd say if he dared to play victim. And then he walked in, dressed sharp, confident, that same calm smile that used to melt me, but now only made me feel sick. People turned their heads. He still had that presence, that magnetic energy that made strangers look twice. But to me, it felt hollow. He sat down across from me, eyes soft, voice quiet. "You look good," he said, like that would erase the months of silence and pain. "Don't," I snapped. "Don't start with small talk. Just say what you came to say." He nodded, leaning back. "I know I hurt you," he began. "I know I made mistakes. But what you think happened, it's not the full story." I rolled my eyes. "Derrick, the full story doesn't change the fact that you lied. To me, to your followers, to everyone who ever believed you." He looked down for a moment, then back up, eyes glistening. "You think I don't hate myself for that? You think I don't wake up every day wishing I could take it back? But there's something you don't know. Something I couldn't tell you before." And that's when he dropped it. The first twist of the night. "Someone set me up," he said. "That whole scandal? The pictures, the messages, half of it was real, half of it was fabricated. They wanted to destroy me, and they used the truth to make the lies believable." I laughed, a bitter, hollow laugh that turned heads. "Really? That's your excuse now? After everything you preached about accountability, you're telling me someone else is to blame?" He didn't flinch. "I know how it sounds, but please just listen." For a moment, something in his tone, desperate, almost broken, made me pause. He reached into his jacket and pulled out his phone, scrolling before sliding it across the table. On the screen were messages, emails, and screenshots that looked real. People talking about leaking things, editing content, using his downfall to make money. My heart skipped. "What is this?" I asked. "Proof," he said. "Proof that it wasn't all me. But there's more. The person behind it all, it's someone close to you." That's when my world tilted. "What do you mean, close to me?" I asked, my voice shaking. He hesitated. I didn't want to believe it either. But it's someone who wanted both of us gone. Someone who felt like we took too much spotlight. I stared at him, my stomach twisting. "Who, Derrick?" "Say it." He looked me dead in the eye. "Your best friend, Nia." I froze. For a few seconds, the entire cafe faded away. Nia, the person who comforted me through every breakdown, who told me I deserved better, who swore she'd never betray me. Her? "You're lying," I said, my voice barely audible. He shook his head. "I wish I was." She sent the first batch of screenshots to that gossip page. She even reached out to one of my exes, offering money for more dirt. I didn't want to believe it either until I saw the proof. I pushed his phone back, my pulse racing. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but all I could do was sit there, numb. After a long silence, I whispered, "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because," he said softly, "I'm done hiding. I'm tired of everyone thinking I'm a monster. And I wanted you to hear it from me before it gets out again." I stared at him, searching for some trace of truth in his eyes. And for the first time, I didn't see the charming, confident man the internet once worshipped. I saw someone broken, cornered, maybe even scared. But that didn't erase what he did. "Even if she did that," I said slowly, "it doesn't change the fact that you lied to me, that you betrayed me, that you let me look like a fool defending you while the world laughed." He nodded. "You're right, I did. And I'll never forgive myself for it. But I need your help to set the record straight." I laughed again, shaking my head. "My help? Derrick, you've got some nerve." He leaned forward. "Please, just meet me tomorrow. There's someone you need to see. Someone who can confirm everything I just told you. Against every ounce of logic, curiosity won again." I told him I'd think about it. And as I left that cafe, the city lights blurred around me. I could feel eyes watching, whispers following. Fans were probably recording from the corner. I could already imagine the headlines. Derrick Jaxn spotted with ex in emotional reunion. That night, I called Nia. She didn't answer. I texted her, asking if we could talk. No response. By morning, her social media had gone silent. No posts, no stories, nothing. No posts, no stories, nothing. My stomach sank. What if he wasn't lying? The next day came faster than I expected. Derrick texted me the location, a private lounge on the outskirts of town. I hesitated for hours before deciding to go. And when I walked in, the air felt thick with tension. He was already there, sitting with someone I hadn't seen in years. His former manager, Troy. Troy stood up when he saw me, smiling nervously. "Hey, long time. What's this about?" I asked. Derrick gestured for me to sit. "Troy has something to show you." And that's when the second wave of truth began to unfold. Troy looked uneasy, glancing between me and Derrick like he was holding a secret that might burn him from the inside out. He took a deep breath before speaking, his voice low and steady but trembling at the edges. "I know you don't trust him," he said, nodding toward Derrick. "Honestly, I don't blame you. But what he's telling you about Nia, it's real. I've seen the messages myself." I folded my arms, trying to keep my voice calm. "You expect me to believe that my best friend, the person who held me when I cried over this man, was plotting against both of us? Come on." Troy pulled out his phone and began scrolling, then handed it to me. My heart raced as I looked down. There they were, messages between Nia and someone named Lex, a gossip blogger who'd been the first to leak everything about Derrick's scandal. In the messages, Nia was negotiating, sending screenshots, asking how much certain stories were worth. My stomach turned. "No," I whispered. "This can't be real." Derrick leaned forward, voice soft. I didn't want to believe it either. But Troy kept the receipts. She was feeding stories to multiple outlets, mixing real texts with fake ones. She even reached out to one of my clients, pretending to be me. I stared at him, anger and confusion twisting inside me. But why would she do that? She had nothing to gain, Troy sighed. She had everything to gain. Attention, sympathy, money. She knew you'd get more engagement online if people saw you as the woman betrayed. She wanted to build her own brand out of your pain. I felt my throat tighten. Tears threatened, but I swallowed them back. So what now? You expect me to confront her? To just believe all this and move on? Derrick shook his head. No. I just want you to see the truth before she spins it again. Because trust me, she's not done. I have reason to believe she's about to drop something new. Troy nodded grimly. We intercepted an email last night. Another leak is coming. And this one? It involves you directly. My heart stopped. Me? Derrick's expression darkened. Yeah. She's claiming she has screenshots proving you were involved in the cheating scandal, that you were part of covering it up. She's trying to flip the narrative to make it seem like you were complicit. I shot up from my chair. What? That's insane! Derrick stood too, hands up, trying to calm me. I know, but the internet doesn't care about truth. Once she posts, people will believe it. We have to stop her before that happens. I stared at both of them, feeling like the ground beneath me was dissolving. You keep saying we, like I owe you anything, I said. I don't owe you my peace, my time, or my name. You broke me, Derrick, and now you're telling me to fight beside you? He looked at me, eyes full of regret. I get it. I know I'm the last person you want to help. But if she ruins you too, everything you built, your career, your name, it's gone. And I can't let that happen. Not after what I did. I didn't respond. I just walked out. The cold air outside hit me like a slap. My phone buzzed. A notification from social media. I didn't want to look, but curiosity won again. It was already starting. A gossip page had posted a blurry photo of me and Derrick at the cafe, captioned, "Sources say they're back together, and not everyone's happy about it." Comments flooded in. She'll never learn. This is embarrassing. She's addicted to the drama. I turned my phone off. When I got home, the house felt too quiet. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the floor, replaying every conversation I'd ever had with Nia. How she always wanted to handle my social media when the breakup went public. How she was the one who introduced me to that gossip blogger for an exclusive interview. How she always seemed to know exactly what was about to leak next. A knot formed in my chest. Could it really be true? I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, her voice echoed in my head. You can trust me. I've got your back. By morning, I knew I had to confront her. I called her again. No answer. I drove to her apartment. No one opened the door, but I could hear faint music inside. I knocked harder. Nia, it's me! Open the door! Silence. After what felt like forever, the door creaked open just a little, and she appeared, eyes swollen, hair messy like she hadn't slept in days. What are you doing here? She asked, voice sharp. We need to talk, I said. She crossed her arms. About what? You know what? I said, stepping closer. Derrick told me everything. About the leaks. The messages? The setup. For a moment, she froze. Her eyes flickered, just enough for me to see it. Guilt. But then she smirked. And you believed him? After everything he did to you? Wow, you're dumber than I thought. My blood boiled. Don't play games with me, Nia. I saw the messages. Troy showed me everything. She laughed, bitter and cold. You think I care what that snake says? He's been covering for Derrick since day one. They both used you. Then explain the proof, I demanded. Explain why your name is on those messages. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You really want the truth? I nodded, heart pounding. Fine, she said. Yeah, I leaked it. I leaked everything. But not because I wanted fame or money. I did it because you wouldn't listen. He was destroying you, and you kept defending him. I thought if the world saw the truth, you'd finally let go of him. I stared at her, speechless. You betrayed me. To save me? You call it betrayal, she said. I call it protection. Tears burned in my eyes. You ruined my name. You let me take the fall. You made me question myself. All for what? To prove a point? All for what? To prove a point? You wouldn't have believed me otherwise, she said softly. I thought once you saw what kind of man he really was, you'd wake up. But then you went back to him anyway. You made me the villain in your story when I was just trying to save you. I shook my head. No, Nia. You did this for yourself. You wanted the clicks, the attention, the sympathy. You used my pain for your platform. Her expression hardened. Believe what you want. But I'm not sorry. And if you think this is over, you're wrong. I've still got more to show the world. Before I could respond, she slammed the door in my face. I stood there in the hallway, shaking, furious, heartbroken. Everything I'd known, my friendship, my love, my trust, felt like it had been set on fire. As I drove home, my phone buzzed again. Another notification. She'd posted something. A cryptic caption under an old picture of me and Derrick. Truth always comes out in the end. The comments were already piling up. Fans were dissecting every word, debating who was lying, who was innocent. Emotions ran high. Timelines exploded, and I was once again caught in the center of a storm I didn't create. That night, Derrick called again. I didn't answer. I couldn't. I just stared at the phone, the screen lighting up my dark room, thinking about how quickly everything can fall apart. Love, friendship, reputation. And deep down, I knew this wasn't the end. Because if Nia still had something left to reveal, the next explosion was going to destroy everything for real. I didn't sleep that night. My mind kept spinning, every thought crashing into the next. The truth, the lies, the betrayal. It all blurred together until I couldn't tell what was real anymore. Every shadow in the room felt like a reminder of someone's deception. Nia's voice echoed in my head, that smug tone when she said she wasn't sorry. It was like she enjoyed watching me fall apart. By morning, I was exhausted, hollow, but too angry to stay still. I opened my phone and there it was, the explosion I'd been dreading. A post from Nia's page already going viral. She'd uploaded screenshots that made it look like I'd been in on Derrick's scandal all along. Fake messages, edited photos, even a voice note that sounded eerily like me saying things I'd never said. The caption read, "They both lied. They both played you." I tried to warn everyone. Within minutes, the internet went wild. Hashtags with my name started trending. Fans were arguing, gossip blogs were reposting, and people who once supported me were turning their backs. I could feel my reputation crumbling in real time. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. I wanted to fight back, but how do you fight against something that looks real? Derrick called again, and this time I answered. "Did you see it?" he asked, his voice shaking slightly. "Of course I saw it," I snapped. "Everyone's seen it. My phone's blowing up. People think I was covering for you the whole time." "Listen to me," he said quickly. "Those messages, that audio, they're fake. I know the person who made them. It's the same guy Nia hired to doctor my screenshots." I paused, clutching the phone tighter. "And how exactly do you know that?" "Because he used to work for me," he said. "His name's Dante. He used to edit my videos before everything went south. Nia found him after I fired him. I didn't think she'd actually pay him to ruin us both." It sounded insane, but at that point, insanity was the only language I understood. "So what do we do?" I asked quietly. "We expose her," he said. "Tonight, I've got proof. Recordings, emails, contracts. We go live, both of us. Tell the truth before she spins it again." The thought of going live terrified me. My heart was already in pieces, and now he wanted me to drag all of it into the public eye. But the alternative, letting Nia destroy what little was left of my name, was worse. "Fine," I said finally. "But if you're lying to me again, I swear—" "I'm not," he cut in. "I promise you. I'll send you everything first so you can see it yourself." By evening, he sent me the files, emails between Nia and Dante discussing payments, drafts of fake screenshots, even an audio file where Dante was bragging to someone about getting paid to ruin influencers. I listened with my hands shaking. His voice was clear, smug, and undeniable. It was real, all of it. The anger hit me in waves. I paced my living room, every nerve buzzing. I couldn't believe that the person I trusted most had gone this far, not just to expose the truth, but to create lies just to make me look complicit. Derrick messaged again. "We're going live in an hour. You ready?" I typed back. "Let's end this." When the countdown started on social media, thousands of people were already watching. The live stream lit up with comments. "Here we go again. This is gonna be messy. She better have receipts." Derrick appeared first, calm and serious. His tone wasn't defensive like before. It was measured, heavy. "For months," he began, "people have been fed half-truths and outright lies. Tonight, we're showing you everything, the proof, the names, the messages." I joined a moment later. My hands were trembling, but my voice came out steady. "I didn't want to do this," I said, "but enough is enough. I'm tired of being painted as a villain in someone else's story." We played the recordings. We showed the emails. The chat exploded. People were stunned, some apologetic, others in disbelief. One viewer commented, "Wait, so Nia faked everything?" Another wrote, "This is wild. I can't even trust screenshots anymore." But just when it felt like the tide was turning, another message popped up. A private DM from an unknown account. It read, "You think it's over? You don't even know the half of it." I froze. A few seconds later, the live stream abruptly glitched. The screen went black for a moment before flickering back, and in that brief interruption, a video clip appeared. It was short, blurry, but unmistakable. Me and Derrick together, months before the breakup, arguing in his car. The sound was distorted, but one line was crystal clear, my voice yelling, "If they find out, we're both done." The comments section exploded. "What is that? So she was hiding something." "This is too much." Derrick's face went pale. "That's not real," he said quickly. "That clip's been edited." But the damage was done. Thousands of viewers were taking screenshots, reposting the video, spinning their own stories. My stomach dropped. "Derrick, what was that?" I whispered. He looked at me, guilt flickering across his face. I don't know, he said, but something in his eyes told me he wasn't being honest. After the live ended, I called him immediately. Tell me the truth, I demanded. Was that video real? He hesitated too long. Derrick, I said again, louder. Finally, he sighed. It was real, but not the way it looked. That argument wasn't about cheating. It was about a brand deal, something that could have exposed my personal life. I didn't want people to know we were still talking back then. My chest tightened. So you lied again. I didn't lie, he said. I just didn't tell you everything. Same thing, I snapped. Do you realize how bad that looked? We just got the audience back on our side, and now they think we've been hiding more secrets. He didn't respond. This is never ending, I said softly. No matter what we do, the truth keeps twisting. Someone's always got another angle, another clip, another lie, he finally whispered. Then maybe the only way to stop it is to stop pretending. Pretending about what? I asked. He paused. About us. About how we really ended. My heart skipped. Derrick, don't, but he did. You left me, he said quietly. Not because I cheated. Not because of the scandal. You left because you found out the truth about me. That I wasn't who I said I was. You remember, don't you? My throat closed up. He continued, voice breaking. Tell them. Tell them what you found. I stayed silent. In that silence, the air seemed to thicken, the truth clawing its way back to the surface. Because yes, I remembered. I remembered finding that second phone, the messages, the secret account where he'd been talking to women. Not to flirt, but to study them. To gather content. He'd been using real people's emotions as research for his videos, and I had walked out that night disgusted. But I'd never told anyone why. Now he was bringing it all back. You think I don't regret it? He said, voice trembling. I turned love into content. I turned pain into performance. And I lost you in the process. I felt tears burn my eyes. Then why drag me into this again, Derrick? Why now? He looked at me, eyes glistening. Because you were the only person who ever saw the real me. And if I'm going down, I need people to know that at least once. I tried to tell the truth. Before I could respond, the call ended. I sat there in silence, phone still in my hand, heart pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears, and that's when my phone buzzed again. Another message from that same anonymous account. He's not the only one with secrets. You might want to check your inbox. I opened my email. There it was. A new message, no sender. Just a single attachment, a video file. The subject line read, "You think you know the truth, but this is where it really began." And before I even pressed play, I knew whatever was in that video would change everything, again. I sat there staring at the screen, the glow of my laptop the only light in the room. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I didn't want to open the file. I already felt like I'd reached my limit. Too many lies, too many secrets, too much heartbreak. But curiosity, or maybe fear, made me click it anyway. The video started with static, then slowly cleared. It looked like security footage, grainy and dark, dated almost a year before the first scandal. It showed Derrick sitting in what looked like a studio office. His old one, the one he used for recording his relationship videos. He wasn't alone. There was another person in the frame sitting across from him. My breath caught when I realized it was me. But here's the thing. I didn't remember that night. I watched as the version of me on the screen leaned in close, whispering something. Then Derrick nodded, smiling, saying, "This will make people believe it's real." The audio crackled, but the words that followed were clear enough to make my stomach drop. "Let's fake the first breakup," he said. "If people think we split, they'll eat it up. Then when we reunite, it'll blow up even bigger." I froze. My heart stopped. The comments, the tears, the anger, the entire internet war. Had it all started as a stunt? And worse, had I actually agreed to it? I leaned closer to the screen, trying to process what I was seeing. It didn't make sense. I would never have agreed to something like that. I was heartbroken when the scandal hit. I lost friends, brand deals, everything. Why would I fake that? But there I was on video, nodding, smiling, even laughing. The email had no explanation, no source. Just that one horrifying clip. I played it again, desperate to find some clue it was fake. A cut, a voice glitch, something. But no, it looked too real. The gestures, the tone, the setting, it was all me. My phone started buzzing nonstop. calls, messages, notifications. Somehow the video had already leaked online. It was everywhere. Fans were furious. Comments poured in. So it was all a lie? They staged the whole thing for clout? Unbelievable. I actually defended them, I wanted to scream. To tell them it wasn't true. To tell them I didn't remember any of it. But how could I when there was video proof? Derrick called again. I didn't want to answer, but I did. You've seen it, he said quietly. What is this? I demanded. Tell me it's fake. Tell me we didn't do this. He didn't speak at first. I could hear him breathing, slow and shaky. Then finally he whispered, It's real. My heart broke all over again. You recorded that? I shouted. You made me part of your performance? Do you have any idea what that did to me? I lost everything because of you. You agreed, he said, his tone defensive now. You said we needed to control the narrative before anyone else did. No, I cried. I would never agree to fake heartbreak. That's not me, he hesitated. It was supposed to be harmless, he said. A short stunt to rebuild my image after the rumors started. We were both supposed to come out stronger. But then things got real. You started falling apart, and I didn't know how to stop it without losing everything. His words hit me like a slap. His words hit me like a slap. So you watched me fall apart, knowing it all started as your game? I said. He didn't answer. Tears streamed down my face. I felt sick. Betrayed didn't even begin to cover it. This wasn't just about cheating anymore. This was manipulation on another level. Emotional, psychological. You used me, I whispered. And the worst part is, I let you. There was a long pause. Then he said, I never wanted it to go this far. But it's out now, all of it. We might as well tell them the full story. No, I said sharply. You tell them whatever you want. I'm done. I hung up and threw my phone onto the couch. My reflection stared back at me from the dark laptop screen. Tired eyes, messy hair, face streaked with tears. I didn't even recognize myself anymore. But before I could shut it all down, a new message popped up, this time from a fan account. It said, We don't believe everything we see. Tell your side. That single line gave me pause. Maybe, just maybe, people were still willing to listen. So I opened my camera, hit record, and started speaking. No script, no filter, no makeup. Just raw truth. I don't even know where to start, I said, voice trembling. The video going around, it's real. But not in the way you think. Yes, there was a time when we thought about doing something to shift the narrative, but I swear to you, it never went beyond that conversation. I didn't fake my heartbreak. I didn't fake my pain. Everything I felt, every tear you saw was real. I took a shaky breath. The thing about people like Derrick is that they make you believe in illusions. They make you think you're part of something real when you're just a piece of their performance. I didn't see it then. I see it now. I paused, staring into the camera. And to Nia, I know you'll see this too. You didn't save me. You destroyed me. And for what? Clicks, attention. You and Derrick deserve each other. But I'm done being the storyline. I hit upload. Within minutes, the video started spreading. Fans flooded the comments, some apologizing, some defending, some still doubting. Emotions ran high again, but this time I didn't care. I had said what I needed to say. Then something unexpected happened. A few hours later, Derrick posted too. Not a video, but a long message. He admitted everything. The fake breakup plan, the manipulations, even the part about using real people's messages as research. He said he was done pretending, that he wanted to disappear for a while, maybe for good. And just like that, the internet flipped. Fans were shocked, some forgiving, some furious. But for the first time, the story wasn't about who lied more. It was about how toxic everything had become. Still, one mystery lingered. Who sent that anonymous email? Who had that footage? If it wasn't Nia and it wasn't Derrick, then who had been pulling the strings from behind the curtain? A week later, I got another message from that same unknown account. Now you know what it feels like to be exposed. Maybe next time you'll think twice before judging others. There was no name, no trace, just that single sentence, and that's when it hit me. Maybe it wasn't about revenge or fame. Maybe this was someone from our past, someone we'd hurt along the way without even realizing. I sat there letting it sink in. Maybe this was karma. Maybe it was closure. Or maybe it was just the price you pay when you build a life on half-truths. I didn't reply. I didn't post again. I just disappeared for a while. No updates, no statements, nothing. The noise kept going online, people debating, speculating, rewriting the story however they wanted. But I stayed silent. Sometimes silence is the only power left. Weeks later, I saw Derrick's name trending again. Apparently, he'd been spotted leaving the country. No one knew where he went. Nia tried to stay relevant by dropping exclusive podcasts about betrayal and healing, but even her audience started fading. The world had moved on, and maybe that was the real ending. Not dramatic, not loud, but quiet. Because after all the chaos, all the heartbreak, all the revelations, the truth was simple: we'd both lost. And maybe, just maybe, that's what we deserved. But deep down, a small part of me still wondered, if I hadn't answered that call that night, would any of this have happened? And as that thought lingered, I realized something else. Sometimes regret doesn't come from what others do to you. It comes from the moment you let them back in. And that's what Derrick Jaxn made me regret most of all. And just like that, the story that started with one phone call ended with silence. But even now, the questions still hang in the air. Who really leaked that video? Who sent the emails? And was any of it ever truly real? I guess we'll never know for sure. Maybe the truth got lost somewhere between the lies, the heartbreak, and the headlines. What we do know is that everyone walked away different. Fans are still divided. Some saying Derrick finally got what he deserved. Others swearing there's still more to the story. People talk about lessons, about forgiveness, about accountability, but when you look closer, it's really just about people doing what they do best, trying to survive their own mistakes. And as for me, I've learned that not every apology comes wrapped in closure, and not every ending gives you peace. Sometimes all you get is the lesson, and that has to be enough. But what do you think? Was Derrick really telling the truth, or did he just spin another version of his own story? Do you think Nia was the mastermind behind it all, or was someone else pulling the strings from the shadows? I want to hear what you think. Drop your theories in the comments below, because this drama is far from over. Make sure you hit that like button if you've been following this roller coaster from the start. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Trust me, the next twist in this saga might be closer than you think. Because if there's one thing we've learned from Derrick Jaxn, it's that no secret ever stays buried for long.